Hello, we will learn residual income valuation model today. So how to find this material? Well, you can go Google and then again type my name, Hyoung-Goo Kang, and then go to Google site, teaching, and then you can go to alternative investment here, alternative investment and residual income valuation model, right? Here. Then here there are multiple PDF file, actually this PDF file, main, okay? Okay, so this is the way to access the file. Okay, so continuous time residual income value model. Introduction. Valuing equity in continuous time with residual income. The residual income model, RIM, in short, is cornerstone of equity valuation. Very important. Fundamental linking a company's intrinsic equity value to its book value and its capacity to generate further return exceeding the cost of equity capital. So if a firm cannot exceed the cost of capital, its firm value should be equal to book value. Or if the cost of equity capital is greater than future return, well then, as many Korean companies shows, equity value should be lower than book value. Okay, so this model captures the value created by a firm's competitive advantage and effective management. While traditional RIM applications often utilize discrete time framework, a continuous time formulation provides a powerful and elegant approach, especially for theoretical analysis and smoothly evolving business scenarios. This note explores the continuous time residual income model, demonstrating the integration of continuous cash flow and discounting to derive the valuation formula and interpret its key components. A critical refinement we incorporate is the consideration of finite horizon for excess return, reflecting the realistic limitation that companies cannot indefinitely outperform their cost of capital. Okay, so driving the continuous time residual income model. The intrinsic value of equity at time t, let's denote it as VT, in the continuous time RIM is the sum of the current book value and the present value or future residual income over the final period t. Beyond t, let's assume there is no residual income. Here VT is the book value at time t, and the integral represents the present value of future residual income Ri tau from time t until final horizon t, discounted at the cost of equity Re. Well, we have continuous time model, so we have integration. If it is in discrete time, you can change the integral into summation. Integration is basically summation, right? So residual income, then what is residual income? Residual income Ri tau at time tau is the net income exceeding the equity charge. So Ri tau residual income is Ni tau minus REBT. So REBT is opportunity cost of your equity capital. So RI is positive only when net income is greater than opportunity cost of capital. Okay, so book value, on the other hand, book value evolves based on retained earnings. So marginal change of book value at time tau is of course net income minus dividend. Okay, so assuming constant dividend payout here k, so the d tau is k and I tau. Actually, k is not constant of course, but here for simplicity, and that net income is related to book value by Ni tau is ROE VT. Of course, ROE can change over time. ROE is net income over book value, right? And then equation 3 lead to the book value growth equations as change of book value is 1 minus k. 1 minus k is retention ratio. retention rate ROE B tau is G B tau. Here G is growth rate. Okay, retention rate multiplied by return on equity is usually growth rate. Now solving this differential equation, details in the appendix yield the book value trajectory is this one. What's the book value? Evolve with rate G. Okay, so this is intuitive because it is a starting point and it grows, right? Typical continuous compounding. Now let's substitute equation 4 into the residual income definition. Equation 2, therefore Ri tau is ROE minus RE PT, and then EGR minus T. Okay, of course we make a lot of simplifying also. In general we can not write that because RIE and G change over time. Now considering a finite excess return period up to time tau, so beyond the tau, Ri is 0, so we don't have to think about it. The intrinsic value, equation 1 because of Vt plus Bt. Okay, integration from T to big T, and then this residual income part, and then we of course have to discount here. So the present value of income is therefore, well, this initial, right? Initial Ri in some sense, right? Initial Ri, and then this is the gross part. The integration is gross part. Gross rate is G minus Re. G is gross rate of earning, gross rate of book value, and then Re is cost of equity, right? So it is a gap between gross of book value and then cost of book value. Okay, so letting u is almighty, so that u is 0 when t tau is t, and u equal to t minus tau when tau is t. Now we obtain this is okay. This technique is called change of variation. Okay, so instead of t we have t minus tau. So instead of small t we have 0, and then we have this one. And then we can, of course, we can do the integration of this one, right? If we do integration of this one, then it is e g minus r e t minus t minus 1 g minus r e. Okay? Well, it is easy to check. You can take a differentiation of this one with respect to t. Then you have exactly this one, right? So they are same. Okay? Next, therefore, the present value of residual income is simply, well, again, we make a lot of assumptions here. So we have this one, initial, in some sense, it is the initial net income, initial residual income, multiplied by this gross part. Okay, other part is gross part. Combining the current book value and its present value of residual income, the complete intrinsic value formula is like this one. Okay, so you can guess what would happen if t goes infinity, and then of course in that case we need g is less than re, then this goes away, right? Then we have a very familiar formula actually. Now interpreting the component of intrinsic value, equation 7 decompose intrinsic value into the current bookability. This is a base accounting value, and the present value of residual income, which is this one. Okay, their value created by excess rate over period small t to big T. Now let's do some example. Consider a company with the following characteristic. Current book value is $100. Cost of equity is 10%. And the projected net income is proportional to book value with ROE is 15%. And the dividend payout is about 40%, implying that growth rate is 40% and then 40% and then 15%. So actually So 1 minus 40% is retention rate. So 60% to 15% is 9%, right? And then final excess period is 10 years. So there is 10 years. Okay. So substituting this in the equation 7, we have this one, and by computing this one, we have this one, and then therefore solution is about $147.6. Okay, so price to book ratio, because book ratio about 100, so price to book ratio is 1 point, about 1.5, 1.476. Now the dynamics of interest value, differentiation and interpretation. Okay, differentiation intrinsic value equation with respect to time t, yield, details in the appendix is looks like this. Change of book value, change of fund value, change of equity value is equity value grows by REN minus dividend. The result implies that in the absence of dividend, the intrinsic value grows at the required return RE. It doesn't make sense, right? For the growth rate of book value, recall from equation 3, then of course this one, and the ROE is BTNIT. So growth of book value is ROE minus dividend over book value. Okay, so if we divide this one with VT, then of course growth rate of VT is cost of equity minus dividend yield. Concluding remarks. The continuous time residual income model with a finite excess return period provides a robust and theoretically sound framework for equity valuation. By modeling the evolution of book value and discounting continuous residual income, the model offers clear insight into how profitability, growth, and dividend policy drive intrinsic value, all without relying on terminal book value adjustment. Terminal value adjustment.